Yeah. This video is about gaining the horse's trust and how the horse's nature completely changes when he starts to really trust you, and how much control you have over the horse after he really trusts you. As I said before, the only way for total control and horsemanship, in my opinion, is by real trust, by gaining the horse's trust. Controlling the horse totally when he disagrees with you is impossible with or by any other way of riding. The only way, the only key for total control in horsemanship is real trust. It's not just a good thing, it's the only thing you have to do or you can do to really control him when you disagree with him. When he wants something that you don't want, when he spooks, when he's around other stallions and mares and so on. Something happened in front of me and I will use it to, let's say, explain the meaning of real trust in my opinion in horsemanship. I was brushing my horse in the paddock, cleaning his hooves, and the other horse in the other paddock was afraid of something or spooked from a noise or a sound, and his paddock was a little bit big. It's not a small paddock or a stall, and still he ran away from the spooky thing towards us, to the corner that is very close from the paddock I am in with the other horse. So instead of choosing the other empty corners, he chose the corner closer to us. So he chose to be with me and with the other horse instead of being alone away from the sound. In horses' nature, they care about being with a group to protect themselves. In their nature, if you live alone, you might get eaten by other animals, you might die, or you might find more problems or put yourself in more danger if you are alone. But when you are with a group, a very, let's say, strong, good, healthy group, usually you are more safe, usually. But when they spook, when the horse is with a group in nature, in the wild, in the desert, in the wilderness, whatever you want to call it, when he spooks from something or when he fears something, he tries to run away from it and not stay with the group itself. For example, a group of zebras or a group of horses or a group of deers or whatever, living together, eating together, drinking together, and a group of lions attacked them. The horse will not think twice before running away, even if his group did not run away. Let's just imagine that his group decided to stand in their place and fight back, for example, or ignore the lions, for example. Imagine that. The horse will not do what they did. He will just spook away and run away because it's his nature. So even when he's with horses, not just away from horses, even when he's with horses, he will run away from the spooky thing, not towards it or stay with the horses, and not to the horses. If he's with the horses, he will run away from the scary thing. If he's alone, he will run away from the spooky thing. He will not run away for the horses or to the horses. So in his nature, if he was alone in the wilderness, when he spooks from a noise or a sound, what he should do usually is run away from it, not towards us, away from us and it, especially when we are close from the scary or the spooky thing. For example, if he's afraid of the left corner, of a noise that came from the left corner or angle from the paddock, and I am in the right corner, he should go to the far corner, to the opposite corner, instead of coming to me. What happened is that the horse came to the corner closer to us and faced the spooky thing or the spooky side that he heard the noise or the sound from, and gave us his back, and he stayed there. Now, I moved in the paddock to do something else, to clean some stuff in the paddock, and he kept moving inside his paddock with me. So when I moved away from the corner that he's close from me at or in, he saw me moving away, he moved with me and ignored the sound and ignored the horse. So he chose to be with you. Which means he, with time, understands that when he's with you, no matter how spooked or afraid he is, you are able to protect him. He doesn't know that the spooky thing is not actually harmful or painful. He thinks that you protected him. He thinks that his safety is with you. And this is what you should do when you lead the horse or you do some training or exercises with the body language inside the paddock, when I show you that the horse chose to be with me even though the rein is loose and sometimes without a rein, and he's afraid from something, but still he chooses to stay with me. Instead of choosing to run away, he chose to stay with me or stand next to me. He thinks that the spooky, scary, new thing was going to hurt him, but because he's with you, you protected him from it. He doesn't know that it's actually not painful. He thinks that you are the reason that it did not hurt him. It's not painful. So this is the kind of real trust you want to look for in horsemanship. You want the horse to actually believe that his protection, his safety is with you, to a point that he will do some things that he doesn't do in his nature, in the wilderness. Wild horses will not trust the leading stallion or the leading mare to that point. If something really spooky happens, the first horse that will run away from the group is him. That same exact horse, when you train him in a good way, he stays and stands in his place because he thinks and believes that you can protect him. And it is actually true, because the leading stallion or the leading mare in the wilderness, when they hear, or when he or she hears the spooky sound, the only thing he or she will do is run away with you, or even in front of you, because it's his nature. His nature is just like the other horse's nature, which is running away. Defend yourself by running away, by flying away. It's a flying animal. In your case, you think, then you act. Horses, as I said before, act or react, then think. So you did something that even the leading stallion or the leading mare does not do when he's leading a group of horses in the nature, in the wilderness. When you reach to that point or level of real trust and totally control the horse, it's not something good or nice to have in the paddock or in leading alone, even though it's very important in leading, but your goal in leading is not in leading usually. Usually you lead the horse because you want to ride him. So every single thing you do in leading is with the intention of having it when you ride him. Your intention in what you did in leading is to have the same exact result you got in leading with the horse when you ride him. So you want him to do something when you are next to him while leading him, and you want him to do the same exact thing or give you the same exact thing when you are on top of him when you ride him. So a horse who chooses to run away from the spooky thing towards you when he's alone in the paddock, and when you move away he chooses you over the horse and the spooky thing and choose to be with you, is going to do the same thing when you are leading him, which means he will not try to run away when he spooks. He will try to stand next to you. And when you are riding him, when he's afraid, he will just stand in his place because you are controlling him and you are on top of him, and he believes that you will protect him from the spooky thing. That's why the same exact horse, when you ride him, when he spooks from something, and sometimes even when the rein is loose, and I proved that when in or with some videos in my YouTube channel, when he spooks from something, the first thing he does is the complete opposite of what horses do in their nature. What horses do in their nature when they spook of something, if it's here, they will do that with their neck and bolt. So the first thing he does is move his neck and head away from it and bolt away or buck away or rear up away. What you do in a good way of riding, in my opinion, is make the horse do the complete opposite and face the spooky thing and look at it with both eyes. And every single time he does that, every single time he's afraid of something and he spooks from something and you disagree with him, he wants to do his nature, which is running away and flying away. You want him to do something closer to your nature, which is facing the fear that he's afraid of or the spooky thing that he's afraid of and looking at it. Every single time you disagree with the horse, you are right and he is wrong. At least this is what he believes. He believed it was painful. You said it's not. It was not. He believed it will chase him when he runs away. You said it will not chase you. I will actually make you chase it and smell it and touch it. And you are right, or you were right, and he was wrong. He believed that if he does not run away, it will hurt him in one way or another, mentally or physically, or you as a rider or as a leader, someone leading him on the ground, will hurt him or deal with him in the wrong way. You proved him wrong by proving to him that the spooky or the scary thing did not hurt you, it's not painful, and I did not do something wrong, I did not hurt you. Why should you be afraid? So with time, what the horse will do is closer to your nature than his nature. His nature is running away from spooky things. Your nature is standing in your place, thinking, then reacting. So you developed his nature by making him think before acting or reacting. And he developed your nature by making you react or act with the hands and the nerves and the body language, let's say, or body reactions, without thinking, then thinking. So let's say the strong point in people is thinking before acting. And your let's say negative side or weak side is reacting or acting. He developed the reaction side in your body and your nature, and you developed the weak side in his nature, which is in this case the thinking side. You made him think more and act and react less. He made you react and act more and think less. So every single thing you do in the paddock in body language or in leading is for a goal that you want to achieve, which is normally or usually riding. That's why the people who don't care about riding, for example in show contests or beauty shows or contests, when you need a horse in a beauty show and you want the judges to see the horse and give him a score and he will win a championship or whatever, or a cup, without riding him. You don't need real control over the horse. You just need to lead the horse and make him give the judges some moves, and that's it. So you don't care about control, and you're not going to ride the horse for real. You don't care about what you do in leading. You don't care about body language, because body language and leading exercises or training the horse in body language or groundwork and leading exercises or controlling him, gaining his trust in leading, is not important if you're not going to ride the horse. Okay, if you control him in leading, it's more important than or safer than not controlling him, but there is no real difference if you're not going to ride him. Just give him the rein and let him do whatever he wants. The idea is what you do when you ride. And a lot of people who have a lot of problems with their horses, bolting, bucking, rearing up, spooking, whatever, never think about fixing the problem in leading. All of them or most of them say, we have a very good horse in leading, a very good horse in the paddock, he has a problem when you ride him and he rears up. Any horse who has a problem in riding, it came from leading. It's just not clear for you. You want it to be clear, you want it to be visible. If you want that, if you want it to be visible, put him in a real test and leading, and you will see it. It will be very clear and visible. You want it to be very clear and visible in body language or in the paddock without holding the horse with a rope. Put him in a real test in the paddock, and you will see what will happen. It will be clear, it will be visible, it will be visual. In this horse's case, if he was standing in a bad way, the first thing he will do is run away to the far corner from us and from the noise. And when he came to us and I moved away, he will stay in his place closer to the horse and not choose me over the horse. He will never choose me over the horse, and he will even sometimes choose the spooky thing over you because he doesn't trust you. Another good example for that is cats and dogs. Of course, cats and dogs are closer to our nature than horses' nature, because they think, then they react, and they don't act or react, then think. But because their nature is about hunting other animals instead of running away. But if a cat trusts you and loves you, then you take a cat and want to give the cat a shower with water. Of course, dogs sometimes like a shower. They like it, they love it, but usually cats don't like it. No matter how much your cat loves you, if you put your cat in a sink or a bathtub to wash it, or wash her or him, she or he will scratch you and run away and spook and run and do a lot of bad things. Because in this dangerous situation, your cat does not trust you. I trust you in normal situations. In real spooky situations, there is no real trust. Same goes for horses, but it's much more, because horses' nature is actually running away when they're afraid. So they don't defend themselves by attacking, they run away. So it's all connected. Groundwork is connected to body language before that, and connected to riding, after it. That's my opinion about real trust and total control, and that's a good example of what the host did with me. Oh, yeah.